Now the secrets behind the scenes are coming to light. Chosen one, your birth was not a coincidence, but a marvel of divine engineering. You were not born to ordinary parents. You are the result of a divine plan, a cosmic equation. While they were trying to understand you, they could not unravel the potential hidden within you. At that point, where science and mysticism meet, those who could not grasp the secret behind your creation now remain silent in astonishment. In all this confusion, those who for years saw you as abnormal or incompatible are now realizing the truth. You are a unique project from the hand of God, a harbinger of a brand new age that does not fit into the mold of this world. You will no longer be restricted by the roles that anyone assigns to you. Just comment 88 because you are the embodiment of divine power where science and the sacred meet. It's like the moment the first rays of sunlight break through after a long and violent hurricane. The silence so thick you can feel heaven holding its breath. That quiet isn't defeat. It's a holy pause before breakthrough. The mud of gossip, the debris of backbiting, the ash of sabotage, none of it can stick where God's Spirit is stirring up new beginnings. All those little whispers, the veiled texts, the closed-door conversations, every single attempt to muddy your name has now become the very tinder for a sacred blaze. What the enemy meant as fuel for destruction, the Lord used to ignite a revival in the places they tried to keep cold and dark. You didn't chase after fame or try to stir up a scene. You were simply living with a faithfulness that speaks louder than their rumors ever could. While you were laying each brick of your purpose, quiet, steady, day after day, those who claimed to stand with you were digging behind you, hoping to divert the blessings flowing your way. Their plans were precise, sneaky as a surgeon's blade, subtle cuts, planted doubts, sly nods in your absence, all orchestrated to choke out the harvest you were building for the future. But here's the truth, beloved. Seeds of hope sown in sacred ground can't be strangled by weeds of deceit. Divine hands are the ones tending your field, and where others dug trenches, heaven is already flooding in with a new river of favor. The attempts to undermine your destiny are like sandcastles before the tide, soon erased, soon forgotten, as the solid rock of your calling rises above every manufactured setback. That's the wonder of walking with God as a chosen one. The storms don't define you, and betrayal can't bury you. Instead, every setback is turned into a platform, every attempted sabotage a stepping stone. You've become the spark the enemy can't snuff out, a living torch that brings light to the very corners others hoped would stay hidden. And as the morning breaks over the battlefield of your reputation, only those with eyes of faith will see who really set the fire in your soul. So, take heart. What tried to stop you only cleared the air for something greater. Where they dug ditches, rivers of blessing are about to overflow. Where rumors tried to cling like dust, glory will settle like morning dew. Gentle, quiet, undeniable. This isn't just survival. This is the beginning of a new story. And your name is written in every sunrise. Imagine a grand, dusty stage, shrouded in heavy velvet, silent and dark for what feels like an eternity. Suddenly, the curtains are pulled back, not by a stagehand, but by a mighty wind of truth. The audience sees not actors with painted smiles, but the true engineers of all that backdoor plotting, their schemes tangled like old marionette strings caught in the floodlight. This is the hour when blueprints of betrayal are exposed for what they are. Castles made of sand, ready to be swept away with the next divine tide. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom. For you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. You see, in God's theater, the plot always flips. Those who once huddled in the wings, scripting your downfall, now stumble out into the light with nowhere to hide. Their alliances, once sealed with sly nods and secret texts, dissolve like sugar in hot water. The ones who whispered about you behind closed doors find those doors closing on them. Where your phone once sat quiet, now it buzzes with encouragement and invitations from true allies, because favor flows to the faithful, not the false. Beloved, this is what poetic justice feels like when heaven picks up the pen. Gossip that slithered through boardrooms and break rooms is hauled to the witness stand of public truth. The scroll of rumors and fabrications, once hidden and hoarded, is unrolled for all to see, and the gavel of divine order strikes with clarity. The architects of your adversity, who fancied themselves untouchable, now face the verdict of a higher court, their stories unraveling in front of every eye that ever doubted you. And just as a lighthouse's beam slices through the thickest fog, your reputation cuts through the haze of confusion they tried to spin. The righteous are vindicated, the faithful are remembered, and the story is rewritten right before your eyes. What they tried to silence in you becomes a song that cannot be muted, echoing in places you never thought you'd reach. Let this moment remind you, storms may shake the house, but only the house built on rock will remain. As the dust settles and the echoes of judgment fade, what stands is your integrity, your unwavering light. The curtain has risen, the audience has seen the truth, and the show goes on, with you center stage, standing on the promises that cannot be swept away. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Think of a mighty oak that's been battered by storms, its bark scarred and branches stripped. But as the clouds part, the sunlight streams through, and the oak stands taller than ever, roots gripping deeper, leaves turning gold in the morning light. That's you, beloved. Now comes the season when every secret that's been buried in the soil gets unearthed by divine hands, and every twisted root straightened with heaven's own care. The very boards that once creaked beneath the weight of plots and schemes are about to become the firm foundation for your ascent. Justice isn't just an idea in the wind. It's walking down the center aisle with boots on, ready to reclaim lost ground. Truth isn't hiding in the shadows. It's stepping onto the stage with a voice that makes the rafters shake. And while every gossip and every slanderous word tries to stick, the author who penned your story from the beginning is scripting a brand new act, one the critics can't edit, one the doubters can't erase. Here's the glory of your assignment. You were never just a supporting player in the background of someone else's show. You are the hero written in bold, indelible ink by the author of all that is good, just, and everlasting. The curtain is falling on every old storyline that tried to confine you, every tired rumor that tried to limit your worth, every narrative spun in secret corners. As those drapes come down, a radiant new story is already taking the stage, crafted by the one who sees all, knows all, and never lets his word return empty. Just picture a flock of doves circling above a city at sunrise, every wing beat catching the golden light, impossible to hide beneath the morning sky. That's how your story has been revealed. Divine watchmen tracing each step, recording every attempt to hide footprints in the sand, every strategy plotted in the dark, every plot to steal your joy or cloud your reputation is being broadcast for all the world to see. The universe itself has become your advocate, turning secret attacks into sky-written messages no one can ignore. Now, beloved, there was a season when whispers carried weight and secret meetings plotted to erase your legacy before it had a chance to blossom. But while they scribbled schemes on napkins, heaven was keeping the master record. Every private slander, every attempt to box you in, every word dripping with envy, none of it escaped the spiritual surveillance that never sleeps. The same way a lighthouse can't be snuffed out by fog, your destiny kept shining, your purpose stayed on course, because the ultimate watcher of your soul was charting every detour and rerouting every trap for your advancement. Let's take a moment to understand. In a world where some think a well-timed rumor can snuff out a calling, the Creator's surveillance footage tells a different tale. It's like a river flowing through hidden valleys, gathering every drop of injustice, carrying it right up to the sunlight where the whole town can see. There is nothing that slips through the cracks of divine accounting, not the smallest slight, not the faintest attempt to dull your brilliance. You are God's chosen signal tower, shining high above the landscape, and there isn't a veil thick enough to block the transmission of your truth. Every effort to siphon your light, every backdoor meeting, every secret plot has become a giant mural that testifies to the power placed within you. Like writing on the city gates for all to read, your vindication is public, your victory undeniable. The verdict has been sounded from the rooftops, and the very ones who tried to sabotage your ascent now find themselves caught in the glare of what they meant to keep in the shadows. Child of destiny, understand that this isn't just your personal win. It's a public lesson. Every soul who tried to hide their intentions now stands in a field of revelation. What was meant to bury you has become the foundation for your elevation. You have become the living evidence that nothing escapes the reach of spiritual justice, and that your path, guarded by forces unseen, will always lead to triumph, no matter who tried to rewrite your story in secret. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. This, beloved, is the era where every hidden thing is revealed, and the ledger that once seemed stacked against you is now set right before all eyes. So walk tall, shine bright, and know you are the proof that God's vision, like the sunrise, always finds a way to expose the truth and lift up those He's chosen, especially when the world thought you were finished. Picture the ancient bell tower in a quiet village, silent for generations, suddenly ringing out in the stillness of dawn. Its echo rolls across the hills, waking sleepers and shaking the dust off every hidden corner. That's how heaven's verdict hits the earth. Unmistakable, undeniable, impossible to silence. Like thunder splitting the sky and making the earth tremble, this is not just news whispered in back rooms. It's a proclamation shaking the pillars of both the seen and unseen worlds. And beloved, the hourglass has flipped. The grains of injustice that piled against you are tumbling in reverse. Every whisper, every shadowy plan formed against you is now amplified in the light. No more secrets, no more backdoor judgments. This is divine surround sound, and you are the headline, not the footnote. It's like tossing a boomerang carved from sacred wood. What they launched in your direction, with all their intent to wound, is circling back faster than they ever imagined. That's how spiritual law works. Heaven doesn't misplace receipts. Since the day they dared to meddle in your calling, the ground beneath them has felt strange. Blessings evaporating, solid plans turning to sand, their confidence shrinking under a sky that no longer favors their schemes. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Look around. Their old strongholds are turning brittle, their storehouses cracking like clay jars under a relentless sun. The universe doesn't let the books stay unbalanced. There is a time when every debt comes due. And that time is here. Justice is echoing across the land, and the balance is being restored before all eyes. You are walking proof that the soil remembers, that heaven has not forgotten, and that nothing built on deceit can withstand the tidal wave of truth God sends through His chosen ones. The castle made of salt is collapsing, and the sound is as clear as a trumpet call. Let every onlooker bear witness. The scales are evening out, not in secret, but out in the open for all creation to see. This is not some mild correction. It's a cosmic landslide. Where swagger once strutted, now stands a soul, weighed down by the gravity of consequence. With each sunrise, their burdens multiply. With each sunset, the load presses heavier on their spirit. Pretense cracks like thin ice. The wolves of lack circle their table, and every avenue once open is now a maze of locked doors. What's happening in their world is a living sermon, a warning sign that spiritual bankruptcy always makes itself known in flesh and blood. Sickness, confusion, sleeplessness, strained relationships. Each is a headline on the billboard of their unraveling. Here's the root of it. Your radiance was too much for their comfort zone. The lamp of your life shone straight through the gaps in their own soul. Every time you flourished, their resentment grew thicker. Your blessings didn't steal from them. Your increase just exposed where their heart was out of tune with heaven. Instead of rejoicing in your harvest, they grew vines of envy that strangled their own growth. The more you glowed, the more they shrank. Every step you took forward left them more convinced you'd robbed them of what only faith can supply. That envy ate at them, acid in the soul, gnawing at their connection to all that's true and alive. Each new friend you made, each opportunity you received, was twisted in their sight into a personal loss. Your victories felt to them like losses, chalked up on a cosmic scoreboard. That bitterness calcified into obsession, turning every glance at your progress into a fresh reminder of their missed turn. You kept rising, riding a wind they couldn't understand, while they kept sinking. Weighted by a grudge, they never laid down. It's like you became the North Star in a sky they kept wishing would go dark. They watched you, stalked your updates, tracked your milestones, thinking if they just figured out your formula, they could replicate your light. But divine DNA can't be copied, and the universe doesn't run on zero-sum accounting. The more they watched, the more they fell behind, chasing your shadow while you moved ahead on pure sunlight. Every time you received a new blessing, it felt to them like a door slamming in their face. Their obsession became a spotlight that burned them instead of you. They longed for your favor, hungered for your anointing, but couldn't grasp that what was meant for you can't be stolen, only received. The spotlight that graced your life scorched every imposter. Their attempts to duplicate your elevation failed at the threshold because they missed the only real key: alignment with purpose, not sabotage of another. You see, beloved, all this is just the opening act. The curtain is rising on a new era, and your seat is at the front of the house. This entire journey has revealed who's for you and who's against you, making space for the pure in heart to draw near. While others played the Game of Thrones, you became the anointed one, carrying the oil of gladness and the scepter of truth. Their schemes only refined your discernment, making you a walking lie detector and a beacon for others wandering through the fog. Their fall is more than poetic justice. It's a masterclass in spiritual physics. For every ounce of attention they put on your defeat, the universe multiplied your success. While their circle of friends turned into a shrinking island, your support system expanded. Their plots were like seeds thrown on concrete, while your integrity grew a garden that now feeds everyone in your reach. Now they're scrambling for reconnection. The text comes late at night. The apology lands like a stone in the river. The promises to do better are wrapped in desperation. But your spirit sees the counterfeits before the package is even opened. They don't want restoration. They want restoration for their own energy field. Their words have lost currency at your table because heaven upgraded your discernment to platinum. Your boundaries are blessed fences, keeping the sheep in and the wolves out. Their attempts to trigger guilt or wrangle sympathy are just background noise to your forward march. Every second spent looking backward is a second stolen from your future. The universe has already issued the memo. Invest in new ground, not old wounds. You owe nothing to those who forfeited your trust. The universe is your advocate now. Every sign, every repeated number, every uncanny coincidence is a divine high five saying, keep going. Your radar is sharper than ever. You feel the shift before the first pebble moves. Strategies that once tripped you now bounce off harmless. You're protected by an invisible fortress, and every attack becomes an opportunity for upgrade. What they meant for harm, heaven reroutes as an express delivery for your next level. Their decline is a billboard, but your ascent is a sunrise. The world sees the fork in the road. While they wander through scarcity and confusion, you stride into new fields of promise. Connections blossom, doors swing wide, resources appear, solutions manifest, and none of it comes from hustling, but from standing in alignment with your calling. Every challenge morphs into a stepping stone. What felt like delay turns out to be divine timing. That emptiness their absence left is quickly filled with new relationships vibrating at your new frequency. Authentic people arrive, real allies appear, honest mentors step up. The difference is tangible. Folks notice the shift in your energy, the glow that won't quit, the confidence that comes from being carried by something bigger than circumstance. Your inner landscape is so transformed, your outer world can't help but follow. You hold the keys now. You get to choose who stays, who goes, and where your energy is spent. Every no you give is a yes to your destiny. No cosmic law requires you to rescue the self-destructive or mend what they broke. Their urgency, their tactics, their emotional appeals are all just signs of their own spiritual bankruptcy. Stay the course. Guard your focus like a treasure. This is the turning point. Either you keep climbing or you pause to tend a sinking ship. Divine guidance says, let go and level up. Your growth isn't selfish. It's sacred stewardship of your calling. You are a lighthouse, and not every shipwreck is your assignment. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord guide your path. The whole universe is watching how you move. This is a story bigger than you. It's a lesson for every eye on the scene, in this world and beyond. Those who doubted your judgment now honor your clarity. Critics have become students. Those who called you harsh now praise your healthy boundaries. The applause from heaven is growing louder by the day. The contrast between your expansion and their contraction is the best sermon you could ever preach. Actions speak louder than justifications, and your fruit is undeniable. Support floods in from all directions. Doors open, helpers appear. The blessings that trickle down on you become rivers to everyone connected to your vision. Every moment of this reversal is orchestrated with surgical timing by unseen hands. Your vindication is not just for now, it's for every future moment. You'll need to trust your gut and lead with courage. You've built credibility in the furnace, and nobody can take that away. The wisdom earned here is the key to your next decade of influence. Every upgrade you've received, from discernment to resilience, from clarity to compassion, will serve you in ways you can't even imagine yet. The very habits you formed to survive now propel you ahead of the pack. Every boundary is now a bridge to new territory. The pain was the price for the blueprint. You know the difference now between friends and opportunists, loyalty and convenience, real love and rehearsed lines. That's wisdom nobody can steal. And as you rise, the lesson radiates out through every circle, every city, every spiritual realm. The story is bigger than the players. Your lesson becomes a manual for all who walk after you. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Those who tried to dim your shine underestimated the power protecting you. They didn't know you were carrying not just your own story, but a cosmic assignment. Their loss is not just personal, it's universal. The ripples of this moment will correct, teach, and shield others. Every consequence they face becomes another fence, protecting future chosen ones from similar harm. You walk forward now with a heart free from bitterness, an energy field pure from resentment, and a future glowing with possibility. You let the universe handle the justice and keep your eyes on the harvest. There's no need to look back. The road in front of you sparkles with new opportunities. There's a surge of abundance flooding your field, new partnerships, clearer visions, stronger health, deeper insight. Your open channel to higher wisdom grows more powerful by the day. You're not just manifesting dreams, you're living them in real time with a speed that leaves even you breathless. Everything is coming together because your choices lined up with heaven's math. Every decision to guard your spirit, every act of self-respect, every step of faith is now yielding dividends beyond your wildest hope. So stand tall, chosen one. The entire universe has witnessed your journey, and now every blessing withheld, every pain endured, every lesson learned is woven into the tapestry of your legacy, your proof that divine order wins. Every boundary you drew was an act of worship. Every no was a yes to destiny. And every time you refused to shrink, the heavens recorded it as victory. You are not the product of what was said about you. You are the living testimony of what God can do through a surrendered life, even in the middle of chaos. The story isn't just about vindication. It's about ascension, expansion, and a purpose that nothing in this world can contain. This is your moment to claim the full inheritance, walk in the wide open fields, and write the next chapters in a script nobody else can erase. Hallelujah and amen.